welcome everybody, and happy Cinco de Mayo. And this is the 13th episode of Throw Like a Girl Radio here on Brooklyn College Radio, WBCR's first all-female sports talk show. I'm Alyssa Paolicelli.
And I'm KaraAnne Galante.
And this is our 13th episode, and you can always listen to us in a number of different ways. First, by streaming off of mywbcr.com or downloading the TuneIn Radio app and searching Brooklyn College Radio. Make sure you're following us on all of our social media accounts, facebook.com/throwlikeagirlradio, Twitter @throwlike_girl, and Instagram throwlikeagirlradio, all one word. And our YouTube page is Throw Like a Girl Radio. Just search that in the YouTube channel, right?
Yes.
And then it should come up. We have our intern Sam Rodriguez will be joining us for the remaining of the show, and today we're not live. We're recording from Studio B, so I have my back to Kara and Sam, so a little bit of a different setup.
Yes, it is. Well, it is the best time of year in sports. The NFL draft just ended. Baseball is heating up, and the NBA and NHL playoffs are keeping everyone excited. As Alyssa said, sadly, we are not live, but if you guys still want to give us comments or anything that you liked about the show, you could always tweet us at @throwlikean_girl or facebook.com/throwlikeagirlradio. Today we're going to change up things a little bit and start off our show with our segment, Confessions of a Female Sports Fan. So what are we confessing today?
Well, before the show, we were talking a little bit about some of the tweets that we all get. All three of us are pretty, advocate tweeters on. I mean, I warn people before they follow me on Twitter that you will only get Rangers tweets for the most part, and
same thing.
an occasional complaint about studying, the usual. But the other day, actually it wasn't the other day, it was a few weeks ago, right before the NHL playoffs started, someone had tweeted me. I said, only one more sleep until the NHL playoffs begin. And they had said to me, wait, that makes you awesome that you know that, as if it was expected that I wouldn't know that, or that I wouldn't be as excited as another person that he followed on Twitter who was a male.
Yeah, it's something taboo.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I hate too. And another thing that I really dislike is that, when you're watching a game and you get really into it and sometimes profanity comes out of your mouth and people are screaming. So when guys do it, it's oh, he's a guy, he's watching the baseball game, the hockey game. But if I were to do that, it's Kara, that's not ladylike. What are you doing? Why are you saying those words out loud? But that just frustrates me because it's I'm a big sports fan and I get into and I wear my heart on my sleeve and I really get into the game and things like that. But I'm not allowed to do that because ladies cannot say those types of things. But
and there's even feeding off of that whole ladylike thing. There's one of those those memes. I guess they're a meme, but it's an old fashioned woman, old fashioned clothing, and they always have stuff next to it. And one of them is I always act ladylike except when NHL playoffs roll around. I'm sure they have one for NBA or every time, And it's what does that even mean? I don't understand. But what about you, Sam?
I believe this was the other day. Actually, there's this kid I follow, this man I follow on Twitter. And if you happen to be listening to this later when I share the link, I'm sorry for killing you right now. But
Put you on blast.
Yeah.
Yes, but we don't know the Twitter handle, so it's good.
No, he had tweeted something along the lines of how he would rather, discuss sports with his boys as opposed to his girlfriend. And I was just curious. I just wanted to know why. And his reasoning for why kind of upset me a little bit. He was because, she could watch the game with me, but when it comes to breaking down the game and, analyzing the stats and stuff, that's just not her place. And I refuted that. I was well, what if she's somebody like me who, let's say, wants to go into that business? Are you going to have a problem that, maybe she just knows the game a little better than you? No, I'm joking. But
no.
I'm joking. I won't go that far. But,
yeah,
I feel if that's something I enjoy, then that is my place to talk about it. I mean, 80% of my conversations with my boyfriend are sports. So what are you going to do?
Maybe it's
People
about
have
ego,
their opinions.
though.
Probably.
It probably is an ego thing.
It's an ego thing.
Sure.
I'm the manly man. I have to know my sports. So
of course.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense though, because it's just if some guy was let's say this is likes cooking a lot or something, and I was really into cooking, I wouldn't be well, that's weird that you like to cook.
Well, it's good. It's a break.
Right,
It's a break for me. But yeah, That was good job, guys. We all have our little things.
Own little confessions.
Yes. Well, Throw Like a Girl Radio, WBCR's first all-female sports talk show with myself, KaraAnne Galante, and Alyssa Paolicelli. We'll be right back with you after a short break. Make sure you are following us on all of our social media accounts, Facebook.com/Throw Like a Girl Radio, Twitter @ThrowLikeA_girl, and Instagram, Throw Like a Girl Radio. When we come back, we will talk about A-Rod reportedly not getting his $6 million bonus. And right now, you guys will be listening to the various calls of A-Rod's 660th home run, where he ties Willie Mays' record.
59 home runs for Alex Rodriguez, one away from Willie Mays to tie him for the all-time list. His first game at Fenway in 19 months. That one is drilled to left field. Is it high enough? It is gone. See ya. A pinch hit. Home run for Alex Rodriguez. Number 660, tying him with Willie Mays for 4th place on the all-time home run list. And he does it in dramatic fashion, giving the Yankees a 3-2 lead.
3-0 pitch from Tazawa. The history was there. Joe Girardi knew about it, sends him up the pinch hit, and Michael, milestone home run.
And the 3-0. Swung on, driven to deep left. It is high, it is far, it is gone. Alex Rodriguez pinch hits a home run. His 660th home run to tie Willie Mays for 4th place on the all-time home run list. What an ultra-dramatic moment. An A-bomb from A-Rod. And the Yankees take a 3-2 lead.
Well, if you had scripted it, you couldn't have done it any better. A-Rod against Tazawa, 3 for 14, a homer, and 6 strikeouts. Boy, that Joe Girardi is a genius.
Viene el lanzamiento. Rodríguez, una línea por el left field. Esa se va y se fue. Se fue. Se fue. Échale sazón. Eso es un jorrón. Alex Rodríguez. Aleluya. Alex Rodríguez viene del banco. Pone los Yankees adelante y empata con el 6 Kid Willie Mays. ¡Oh, qué jorronazo de Alex Rodríguez!
3-0 pitch to A-Rod. See if he's got the green light here. Driven to deep left field and gone. Home run number 660 for Alex Rodriguez. Ties Willie Mays 4th all-time, and he does it on a 3-0 pitch. Green light and gone into history.
And Tazawa delivers. He swings. There's a drive. High and deep to left field, and it is gone. Up into the monster seats, and he has done it. Alex Rodriguez with his 660th career home run. He has tied Willie Mays. That was on a 3-0 pitch and an absolute bullet that got out of here in 1.5 seconds. And man, did that quiet Fenway.
Here's the 3-0. A swing and a drive. A ball well hit into left and gone. And Alex Rodriguez has tied Willie Mays on the all-time home run list.
You said pinch hitting off the bench wasn't something fond of. Coming on a cold night, coming into this situation and doing that's pretty impressive.
Feel Like a Girl Radio with Alyssa Paolicelli and KaraAnne Galante is back. We are with you until 5 p.m. Yankees fans, you won't want to miss this conversation because we're going to talk A-Rod. This saga never ends, it seems. It seems like there's always, until this guy decides to throw in the towel and retire.
Yes.
It's not going to end. So the new piece of news, if you haven't been keeping up, I don't know how, if you live in New York City, you would not know this, but he, as a part of his original contract with the Yankees, he was able to receive $6 million per every milestone home run that he made. So basically catching the people above him on the list. So recently, it was on Friday night at Fenway Park, he tied Willie Mays with 660 home runs. Reportedly, Brian Cashman is now saying that he will not be paying Alex Rodriguez the $6 million he is owed because this is no longer a marketable milestone. Again,
yes.
This term milestone has been thrown around very loosely, I feel like, because it's a weird territory to trek, I feel like. So I'm curious to think what you guys think, because Sam's a Yankee fan. Me and Kara are Mets fans, so I'm curious to think, because I kind of have position that I was surprised that I would myself have, because I cannot stand A-Rod is like on the lowest of lists in my book.
Yes, me too, girl.
But I kind of do feel for him in this, because
I don't feel for him at all.
I just think that at this point there's already so much publicity that how many times is the guy going to apologize for? He just, like, as much wrong as he has done, and I'm not defending that at all, he just seems to always be, the hammer keeps just coming down on him. And it's like, at this point, it was promised him. So now you're putting the Yankees, by doing this, is putting the MLB in a bad situation, because the Players Association is going to have to go up to bat for Alex Rodriguez because it's a contractual agreement.
Well, Cashman said that they have the right to pay him, but not the obligation. And with all the past PED use and things like that, I don't think this is like a legitimate 660 home run record. It's not. I don't think it is. I think that he doesn't deserve that $6 million bonus. And A-Rod told reporters that I'm just happy to be playing baseball. Honestly, I'm in a good place. A year ago, I wouldn't be dreaming to be talking to you guys about playing baseball and enjoying the game so much. I've been in a good place for a while now, and it's just fun to be playing baseball. So I think that, you know, he addressed the controversy, and it was a good statement to make, because if he made something that, oh, I deserve those $6 million, if he said something like that, then that would have been a big problem. He doesn't deserve it. He makes enough money anyway. Right, honestly, what is $6 million going to do?
But the Yankees are listed by Forbes. I have the number here. Are valued at close to $2.5 billion. $6 million is like dropping $1 for them.
Yeah, but he doesn't deserve that $6 million. I want that asterisk to be put on that ball, and that's it. He doesn't deserve to be tied with Willie Mays. It's done.
But the thing is, what I think is that he's still in good company, regardless if he's however long he was using the PEDs for. He still has incredible talent. There's no denying that.
No, he does have talent.
Made the MLB when he was, 19 years old or something like that. He was young.
Yeah.
He played his first game at Fenway Park in 1994.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I feel like, obviously, I get it. Like, there's no way that the Yankees can sell any T-shirts that say Alex Rodriguez, 660, because no one's going to buy that.
Yeah, he's unlikable.
I get that marketable aspect to it. But at the same time, the Yankees are making this more of a PR nightmare. What do you think, Sam?
I'm going to have to agree with Alyssa on this one. I think if it's in the contract, then he should get paid the money. I think there's like some really particular wording in that contract, and it's very sensitive, and I think it can be interpreted different ways. I was reading this article that in the contract there's also something that says in good faith, and that could be kind of thrown either way, because, in A-Rod's defense, in good faith on the Yankees, and on the Yankees' defense, it's like, well, we put this good faith in A-Rod that you were going to be this honest player, and clearly that's not the case. I mean, as a Yankee fan, I think it's a shame that this moment, which I do consider a milestone. I mean, the guy's going out there every day. He's
the best player on your team right now.
Exactly, and the Yankees are in first place. I mean, he's going out there, he's hitting. That's really all I want him to do. I mean, he's saying all the right things to the media. Cashman said that. He's all business. He's all baseball. It's just a shame that the moment has to be tainted with this kind of controversy, because as a Yankee fan, I think all Yankee fans want to just be able to go to the games and just root for him and just want him to do well.
I've yet to be at watch Yankee. I mean, only Yankee games I've watched have been the ones that the Mets played there, and opening day. I watched opening day as well, and he was cheered. He wasn't booed. He's been booed pretty much everywhere else, but I mean, at this point, I just feel like this guy, what else? I mean, I think maybe if I was a Yankee fan, I'd be like, well, just prove to me that you really are sorry by just not even, don't even take them to court on this.
Yeah, or don't even take the money. Just say, I'm sorry for what I did. I know what I did was wrong. Forget about the bonus.
And, I get that aspect of it, that angle, but at the same time, the Yankees are just making this, they're always, PR is not their strong suit.
It's not.
They've always been a private organization. They never have any controversy, very clean slate.
Yeah.
But I think that them doing this is just making it more of a nightmare for their organization, for the fans. There's never going to be a full healing process for this occurrence, because it's always going to be opened up. The salt's going to be on the wound constantly over and over again.
And do you think, with the Yankees, if they were to give him the $6 million bonus, doesn't it look like they're supporting A-Rod and what he's done in the past? Maybe that's what they're thinking about. They're marketing a guy who just came off a suspension of a year of using PEDs and things like that. Do you think that could be also a reason?
I mean, I guess I could see that side of it.
Yeah.
But a contract's a contract.
I know a contract's a contract, but
that's
they didn't
it.
know.
I didn't realize that the good faith clause is in there because
Yeah,
this is
so
like,
good faith could really sway it to no, now I'm not giving you the $6 million because we didn't know. You have to be clean person,
or
good
it
faith.
could mean that the Yankees knew about the PEDs all along.
And they just added it
You
in.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That is I like that. I like that scenario.
I think unless those words, specifically those words, were like in the contract saying, well, you're not getting this money if you did A, B, C, etc., then, I mean, what are you going to do? You
Yeah.
can't debate what's already in the contract.
You know what I thought was funny? I read an article that said, like, even a fan took out an ad in the Daily News asking the MLB commissioner to put an asterisk on the home run ball.
people just have money just to burn.
They took out an ad a day after he did it. It was a full page of, like, why
I'm sure that's
there
not
should be an
cheap.
asterisk.
I hate when
Yeah.
fans do that. That's like a biggest pet peeve of mine. Like, I'm a Jets fan.
It doesn't
and
accomplish
I
anything.
hate the fact that Jets fans raised as much money as quickly as they did to put a billboard that said "Fire Idzik" on the thing. But you know how much money that a billboard costs? I'm assuming it costs upward of $10,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So that could be wrong, but it has to be a hefty amount of money. There's so many other things that money could go for. Like sports, obviously, you want your team to do well. You invest the time, the money, and your loyalty in it. But at the same time, it's just a game. At the end of the day, it's not. Well, for most people, it's not the end of the world. For some people,
I know.
it is.
Some people
But
it is their livelihood. That's what they wait for.
another thing, I'm really surprised. I think the Yankees locker room in general reacted really well to
Yeah.
A-Rod's. I think that everyone kind of just like feels for him.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing this whole like mustache growing thing. Did you guys hear about this?
Are they really?
Oh, because
They're-
aren't the Yankees like against facial hair?
So
or am I
right,
wrong
they're
about
not
that?
allowed to have facial hair, but they can have a mustache. So they can't have beards, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God, Johnny
And-
Damon. I remember now.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
I
Made him
remember that
shave it all
too.
off.
Exactly. So
It just ruined his look. I'm sorry.
there was like one of those. I don't know if either of you have ever been to Fenway Park, but outside all the Boston, they have T-shirt stands, and they're really funny T-shirts, really gruesome and like raunchy T-shirts. But one of them said about Johnny Damon is like, looks like Jesus, throws like Mary, acts like Judas.
Yes.
Because the whole, like,
Wow.
I was like,
Oh
That's
my
awesome.
God.
but
That's
just
clever.
back to the mustache thing. So they're all growing mustaches because Brett Gardner, I think, started it. And they've won every series since he started growing his mustache.
Okay.
So they're all growing them together, but they all look like really weird because I think it's really weird when people have mustaches without the beard.
Yes.
And it's not a good look. It's like, this is, it's kind of, it's a very dated look. And I think, I'm all for the whole team bonding thing, and I think that along with them, how they've reacted to A-Rod, I think has been, continuously
good.
growing
Yeah.
together. So
Because you don't want that animosity in the locker room,
that's for sure.
So with what A-Rod's done, you got to get past it. The past is the past. Move forward in the locker room because they're developing wins for doing that. So I would keep doing it. Who cares if you look weird wearing a mustache?
It is really weird though. If I was reading a Post article and they had like them, when they swing, their faces look kind of weird because they're swinging a bat.
Yeah.
And they have the mustache and they kind of look like dirt stashes. Like, it's very strange.
Well, Throw Like a Girl Radio, WBCR's first all-female sports talk show with myself, KaraAnne Galante, and Alyssa Paolicelli. We'll be right back with you after a short break. Here is a clip from CNN's reporter's Rachel Nichols' interview with boxer Floyd Mayweather, where she questions his history of abusing women. The start to why she was denied access to Saturday night's fight of this century. And here it is.
I'm Rachel Nichols, and welcome back to Unguarded. Boxer Floyd Mayweather is the world's highest paid athlete. Forbes estimated he earned $105 million last year alone. But while Mayweather is adored by fight fans, there's a much darker side to his story. He's had a string of domestic violence, arrests, citations, and in 2010, an incident that landed him in prison. According to the police report, Mayweather grabbed the mother of his 3 children by the hair, punched her in the head several times, and threatened to kill her. This was all in front of his kids, who he also threatened to kill before one of them called the police. But after Mayweather pled to a reduced charge and spent only 2 months in jail, he wasn't ostracized the way Ray Rice has been this week. The Nevada Boxing Commission didn't suspend him the way the NFL suspended Rice. Instead, Mayweather has been allowed to continue to churn out paydays, and this despite even more women coming forward with stories of abuse in the time since. Now, given all this, you'd think Mayweather would want to keep a low profile heading into his fight this weekend to fight that's expected to earn him $30 million. But instead, what did Mayweather do? He commented on Rice, telling a group of reporters that the NFL, quote, overreacted in indefinitely suspending Rice. Mayweather added, quote, I think there's a lot worse things that go on in other people's households. It's just not caught on video, if that's safe to say. Well, the next day, Mayweather backtracked from those comments, but when I had the chance to speak to the boxer, I asked him about Rice and his own brutal history. Take a listen. You recently made some comments on Ray Rice and how the NFL should have stuck to its original 2-game punishment. Then you backed off those comments. Can you just clarify for us what you really think?
Well, I spoke about that yesterday, so, I'll leave that in the past and try to focus on my future and try to focus on my fight Saturday, which is Maidana.
Well, okay, but you are someone with a history of domestic violence yourself. You've even been to jail for it. Why should fans root for you with this kind of history?
Everything has been allegations. Nothing has been proven, so, that's life.
Well, I mean, the incident you went to jail for, the mother of your 3 children did show some bruising, a concussion when she went to the hospital. It was your own kids who called the police, gave them a detailed description of the abuse. There's been documentation.
Once again, no pictures, just hearsay and allegations. And I signed a plea bargain, so once again, not true.
But the website Deadspin recently detailed 7 separate physical assaults on 5 different women that resulted in arrest or citation. I mean, are we really supposed to believe all these women are lying, including the incidents when there were witnesses, like your own kids?
Well, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. When it's all said and done, only God can judge me.
All right, well, we've seen this week with the outcry against the NFL, the public wants the domestic abuse problem in this country addressed. Would you consider donating any of the more than $30 million you're going to make this weekend to an organization that educates and prevents against abuse?
This weekend, what I will do is make sure that millions and millions of dollars be saved for my children, because my children are who I love, and that's what I care about.
Yeah, the denial there with Mayweather is truly amazing, right? And it gives an interesting window into the way an abuser can walk around maintaining over and over again that nothing is wrong, despite hard evidence to the contrary. Still, I gotta tell you, not as amazing to me as the denial of the public that supports him. I am curious how many of those who shuddered at the video of Ray Rice in that elevator this week are also planning on plunking down their $70 tomorrow for Mayweather's pay-per-view fight. It is worth considering before you pull out your credit card.
Throw Like a Girl Radio with Alyssa, Paolicelli, KaraAnne, Galante, and Samantha Rodriguez is back. So you guys just heard the comments about the interview that Rachel Nichols conducted with Floyd Mayweather. This, I think, was back initially in September when he had a previous fight. So this is right around the time of the whole Ray Rice allegation. So her, as well as Michelle Beadle of ESPN and HBO, she's employed by both. Most notably known for Sports Nation, where she's very
I love
quirky
that show.
and doesn't hesitate to speak her mind on issues of the like. So basically what happened this weekend was, after she's spoken out about it, she actually is a host of Fox Fight Tonight on HBO, Michelle Beadle, and report every time there's a fight where Mayweather's in, she doesn't watch it. She had previously one day made a comment on, I think it was at the ESPYs or something like that, and she said to him, I like the way you live your life, not knowing about his past, of his serial past of abusing women. Like, you heard what she said, it was 7 accounts from 5 different women, including the mother of his children. And reports also say that he has beaten his children as well. So she said that, and she's recanted her statement, obviously, and then ever since then has boycotted every single fight he's been in. And before this weekend, fight of the century, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, their credentials were both pulled. Them, as well as one other, I think it was a man.
Yeah, it was a male.
Who also has spoken out against his domestic violence. I think he was from Deadspin too, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So 3 people's credentials were pulled by the Mayweather camp because they had questioned his domestic violence, his past of domestic violence. Yeah. Which is unbelievable to me, because I don't understand how any reporter could have gone in there with that knowledge, because everyone knew that this had happened. It had broke on
there was
Thursday,
a bunch of articles written too.
When was May 1st? Was that a Friday or
That's a Friday.
May 1st. So that was the day that everyone had to go pick up their credentials for the
Yeah.
fight. They were given access to the events leading up to the fight and the post-fight
Yeah,
events,
interviews and things like
Right.
that. Yeah.
but not allowed to go into MGM Arena is where it was held. I
Yeah,
believe.
someplace in Vegas.
So I'm curious to get you guys' just thoughts on that because I have reached this breaking point. This morning I read another article about the Seattle Seahawks drafting their 63rd pick. I have to get his name, but right now, basically,
Another domestic violence case?
he was in a hotel in Ohio, and
Yeah.
there was two women with their daughter staying next door, and they heard screaming and hitting, and they went next door, and he opened the door, and she was like, "What's going on?" His girlfriend was in the background, and
Oh my
was basically
God.
knocked unconscious.
Oh my God.
And I think he was from Michigan State. Let me pull up the article right now. So
Okay.
from Michigan State, and I think he was the charges were eventually dropped, but
Mhm.
there is significant proof that he did beat her, and the Seattle Seahawks apparently investigated their own investigation. That is such a
I hate that.
BS line.
Yes. Their
Because
own investigation.
Every time there's their own investigation, they never speak to the person who was actually inflicted by this. And
Yeah.
I'm sick of this happening because if let's say Roger Goodell, if it was his daughter who Jameis Winston raped,
then there would be a different story
he would
there.
not even have been eligible for the draft. I can
Oh
guarantee
my-
you that.
He'll
So-
probably would have locked up for life in jail, knowing the power he has.
So I don't understand how just because you're removed from the person that's happened to, how it makes it okay
Yeah.
to look past this. And this kid is a 63rd round pick.
Yeah.
At the 63rd.
He's
sorry,
probably not
63rd round.
Yeah, 63rd pick.
Like
Yeah.
he's not.
He's not gonna make it to the NFL. He'll probably be on the practice squad.
Either way.
Yeah.
Like he's not when you're. I just.
There's
don't
no point. He's not
understand.
your moneymaker.
I'm so tired. I feel like every week there's something else, like some other story breaks about this.
Yes, yes.
And I'm tired of the media and us. It's on the fans because the fans are the one who bring in the revenue.
Yeah, and the fans are supporting it.
Like we had work on Saturday night.
Yes.
At City Field.
Yes.
And everyone was like, "Oh my God, we have to go. Hope the game ends soon because I have to."
Yeah,
you
go
know, get
watch the
home to
fight.
And I'm like, I'm like, I know that boxing's like it's just not for me. Like it's not something that I would ever watch. I think it's kind of weird to watch someone
Beat up each other.
No, but I get the draw. Like I understand why people do watch it.
Yeah, me too.
I think it takes a lot of talent, a lot of endurance to do it.
Yeah.
But knowing what everyone knows, and maybe they don't know, and I was like, I will not want. They're like, oh, are you going to watch?
Yeah,
the
but how
fight
wouldn't you know? It's everywhere. You just type in Floyd Mayweather's name and that pops up. It's not like it's in the back burner somewhere. Like you have to really search the internet to find it. It's as soon as you search his name, domestic violence and things like that. And also there's like tags on websites to click and you could see the whole case show up to you in like 2 seconds. So it's not like fans can't see it.
I mean, and I don't know. It's just a hard thing to stand against because like I was talking to my boyfriend about it and he was like, I've been waiting for this fight for 5 years and that's part of the buildup and like I get that because
yeah.
I understand it, but at the same time, like, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it was Henrik Lundqvist.
Yes.
I'm super fan Henrik Lundqvist. If I found out he went home and beat his wife every day,
no,
I would
Switch.
drop the Rangers in a heartbeat.
Not the Rangers. I'd drop
would
the
drop the
player.
Rangers
Because what if the Rangers don't know about it?
Of course they know about it, Kara.
I don't know.
All these teams know about everything their players do. There's no way they don't. They have They have these. Every one of their star players has a entourage of people who are.
I know they have
doing
people
everything.
behind them, but
There's no way that these
sometimes you don't
organizations
know.
do not know. There's no way that Floyd Mayweather PR does not know.
Oh, because the PR's making millions. How much didn't this boxing match make like $300 million or something?
Basically.
Wasn't it something around that?
It was a lot.
It was a lot. And you're paying to watch a guy beat up another guy. But plus, like, he has his domestic abuse allegations, and I think that's disgusting.
And I know.
And the way he handled that interview that we just listened to, the past is just the past.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not gonna talk about that.
To be honest, that interview is like the epitome of Floyd Mayweather. Like, if you know this guy and you watch this guy, whether it's that interview or just interviews prior to the match,
yeah,
he's like the most conceited, full of himself. And I mean, granted, he's got the talent and the record to kind of back that up. But I feel like it's even worse when you don't show not a single like ounce of remorse.
No, he doesn't. Even they're just allegations. I didn't like the word allegations.
There's a written report of one of his sons
Yes.
talking about, like, it's actually a chilling thing to read.
He wrote it out as a, yeah.
And he's basically saying, like, his dad woke up his mom and just started beating her, and then one of his, I think it was the middle son.
Yeah, it was.
The older son had to go and call the police.
Yeah.
And then he was telling them to leave, and it's just like, I don't understand how people can be like, and I do think that some people are just like, you know what? Sports is supposed to remove me from these types of things off the field, but how can it do that? This is
too big of a controversy to like make it pass.
This is too big of an epidemic in this country.
No, it is. It's a problem.
It's a global problem.
Yeah.
And I just don't. And another thing that's weird about this whole credential being pulled thing, Floyd Mayweather's publicist is a female.
You see, that's what I don't like about this whole situation.
It's very tricky.
It's such a tricky thing to talk about because obviously, at the end of the day, she needs a job, right?
Yeah, and plus she's whoever she's employed by. Yeah, and they could say you'll be fired and this, and then he has power, Mayweather, so he could do things to ruin her career.
I think was it Forbes or one of those economic magazines.
Those smart magazines, yeah.
He's the richest athlete in the whole world.
Yeah, he is.
Which is crazy because whenever I hear the salaries of some of the Premier League soccer players, I'm like, whoa, because that's in euro. So, I mean, now it's a little bit different but in the past, euro has always been so much higher than the 1.5 to the dollar.
To the US dollar.
So, I was like, oh my God, Cristiano Ronaldo's salary is unbelievable.
Yeah, but you don't hear anything bad about him.
Yeah, well, maybe I don't know. I don't follow.
But Cristiano Ronaldo, he's well known in the United States too. Like people look at him, and if something came out that he did something, we would know about it. And I never read anything bad about him so far.
And yesterday on the Michael K show, Michael K himself, I didn't listen to it, but I heard about it, and I've been looking for the podcast since because I really want to hear him. A lot of Mets fans hate Michael K. Hate him. I don't. I think the guy is the best in the business. Honestly, he's a great talk show host. I don't listen to his calls all that often because I don't watch the Yankee games, but I do think he's very good at the whole sports talk thing.
Yeah.
His show is so easy to listen to, but he was saying how the sports industry is a joke because there's no other reason why any other reporter should have gone into that match knowing that these two women and this other male were removed their credentials because of for them doing their job.
Yeah, you're right. I would have boycotted it. I would have fought that. But Michelle Beadle got her credentials back.
They all did, but it was late Friday night.
Yeah.
And then they decided that they would not go.
Yeah, because also I think she was on a flight or something to Los Angeles. She was already gone.
Spurs Clippers game.
Yeah, she was already gone.
Which I'm mad I didn't watch because apparently that was
great.
The best game.
It was the best sporting event that day.
The Rangers won.
No, what are you talking about? Wait a second.
All right, most exciting, I guess.
And also, in other news, did you guys see Jameis Winston's Instagram picture that he posted right after he got drafted? It had crab legs.
Oh,
obviously.
my gosh.
And he had his, I think, girlfriend.
I'm gonna have to look that up right now.
He had his girlfriend right behind him, and then eventually he took it down.
I think that, when I tweeted that picture out and I said it, guarantee 100% confident that is not the first mistake that kid makes in that jersey.
Yep.
No way.
Yep, you're right.
No way.
He took down the Instagram picture right after it.
Because are you stupid?
And he didn't realize it. Like, he didn't get the connection, this kid. He obviously did it on purpose. Putting all those things that he was like.
I think his coach gave it to him.
Yeah.
And obviously that is not okay for the coach to do either because you're just perpetuating this behavior that is going to continue in the NFL. It's going to be under more scrutiny than it was in college football. So I don't know. That guy, I'm just thankful the Jets didn't get him. I was happy with the Jets draft this year.
Really?
I was well, we got the guy Williams, the defensive tackle, I think, or offense. He's one of the tackle guys. I forget what position he plays. I have to look it up right now because he's defense.
It's gonna haunt you for the rest of the day.
Because the Jets always pick defense in the first round.
Yeah.
So everyone was surprised that he lasted that long to the sixth pick.
That usually happens.
Sam's shaking her head. She just saw the
pick.
Just
saw the pick?
Yeah.
Isn't that a great picture?
That's something else. It's bold.
Well, I know. I know.
I just don't like.
He knew what he was doing. Don't say you don't know what you're doing.
Do you have half a brain?
Apparently
not. Yeah.
Apparently, whoa. Why? When I saw that picture, I got so angry. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, dude. there's no point even posting that, honestly. Just be quiet. Don't say anything on social media. Don't say anything on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Just be quiet.
Be thankful that you got 2 passes in your life. Like,
yes.
You got the incredible talent that you have, number one. Number
Yeah.
2, you escaped what was an alleged rape accusation.
Yeah.
And now you are getting drafted to the NFL and making, I think his contract is something like $35 million over a certain amount of years, or $29 million, something like that. Reportedly.
Just be quiet on social media and see what happens. That's all you got to do. But whatever PR team is behind him, I don't know why.
He doesn't have one. You don't have, as a college player.
Not yet.
You can't have
Not
one
yet, though. He just got drafted.
He
shouldn't like
that
the Tampa Bay like swarm in on him.
That should have been the second phone call made by the GM of Tampa of the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Get this kid a publicist.
Yeah, right. In 2 seconds, as soon as they named him.
If I was a GM of the Bucs, I would just be like, anything you want to say to the public has to be filtered through me first, because I don't want you opening your mouth at all.
No, I'm holding your phone at all times. You're not even gonna have a cell phone, okay? After all that controversy behind you. So we'll see what happens, and it's just crazy with this domestic violence.
Yeah, I just had the article up. It was, his last name is Clark.
Yes.
Frank Clark from Michigan, a Michigan defense. Was in the Seahawks defend their choice and insist that Frank Clark never struck his then girlfriend, but team investigators never talked to witnesses. There were 2 witnesses, not including his then girlfriend at the time. And it was the police reports are basically saying that the girl was knocked unconscious. And I just don't understand how you can call something an investigation when you don't actually do any investigating.
Well, yeah.
If you're just calling the person who you want to draft, obviously they're not going to be like, yep, that's what I did, except for Ray Rice. Apparently he told Roger Goodell what he did in that elevator.
Yeah,
but
because it was a video, so it's obvious.
I'm so sick of this. It's on us as fans. It's on us as females who want to be in the sport industry to change this, because it is so hard for me to be a female NFL fan. Realistically, it's not like I'm going to come every Sunday, going to stay away from my TV, stay away from any of the events going on around it, but I just can't. I'm sick over this. I'm sick. There's only so many times.
And it's not going to end until somebody puts a stop to this or someone stands up. It's not going to end. These commercials are not doing anything. I'm watching and I'm like, haha, nice job, NFL. You really are sending out a message.
You're saving your face. That's all you're doing.
Yeah, that's all you're like, oh, we're doing something. We just made a commercial. That's all we did. No, you're not. You're not doing anything. Investigation doesn't mean anything unless there's action going to happen. And if there's so much proof behind it and so much evidence, then you got to do something about it. Who cares about money? It's about your reputation.
Yeah,
and your reputation is not so high with me right now, so.
then you run into trouble, Kara. You're on Kara's bad list.
Yeah, you're on my list. Don't be on my bad list. And, well, Throw Like a Girl Radio, WBCR's first all-female sports talk show with myself, KaraAnne Galante, and Alyssa Paolicelli. We'll be right back with you after this short break. Right now, we will be listening to highlights from the Chicago Blackhawks versus the Minnesota Wild game.
At the United Center on Sunday night in Game 2, the Blackhawks were looking to take a 2-zip series lead on the Wild for the 3rd consecutive year. 9 minutes into the first, and Corey Crawford was challenged, and he was sharp. Here's Thomas Vanek in close with 2 good looks. Neither one gets by. Tight first period, but no score. Under 8 minutes left, Wild on the power play in the second. Ryan Suter with a giveaway in the neutral zone. Here come the Hawks. Marian Hossa, Jonathan Taves. We got an icebreaker. The captain's 4th goal of the postseason. 3rd career playoff shorty. 1-0 Chicago. And you can see this ricochets off of the stick of Dubnyk and across the line. Ryan Suter tried to sweep it off the line. Couldn't get there in time. 2 minutes later, Kyle Brodziak with a great chance. Coming in hot. But it's Crawford with a beauty. Stretching out to protect the 4x6. A minute after that, Corey Crawford under duress. Matt Dumba. Zach Parise. A great look. Parise can't beat Crawford. Still a 1-goal Hawks lead. Final minute of the second now.
Into the pass now to Kane over the wild line. He shoots, he scores! Patrick Kane from the right circle. Snapped that one off the left post and in behind Dubnyk. What a heads-up play by Duncan Keith.
Chicago 4-0 all-time in the playoffs when Taves and Kane score a goal to the 3rd. Just over a minute in, Wild power play, Matt Dumba. How about this shot? Remarkable. Ramping up in slow motion, up off the catching glove of Crawford and into the cage. We got a 1-goal game in the third. 7.5 minutes in, and the Blackhawks strike back.
Send it back across for Dumba. Teravainen intercepts, got it to Sharp, breaks over the wild line, left circle, shoots, he scores! It all started with a defensive play by Teuvo Teravainen at center ice. He got it to Patrick Sharp, who was speeding by into the wild zone, and from the left circle, he let it rip.
4th goal of the postseason for Sharp.
Throw Like a Girl Radio with Alyssa, Paolicelli, KaraAnne, Galante, and Samantha Rodriguez is back. We are with you until 5 p.m. Now we're going to start our playoff talk. We're going to do some NHL and then go into some NBA with our in-house basketball expert Samantha Rodriguez. So just quickly, I was just in awe this weekend by Patrick Kane. We were just talking about it. The kid has 101 points in 101 playoff games.
Beast. That's it.
They had a game on,
wow.
On Sunday. They had their game on Sunday, and their big three, Kane, Taze, and Sharp were just shining bright, like they always seem to come through clutch in the playoffs. So
yeah.
I don't want any of the teams who have won the cup in the past 5 years to be back into the Stanley Cup finals.
No, I mean I want something different. I want a new look, but it might not. It might happen again this
come
year.
On, Zach Parise, let's go. Get your team. And Ryan Sutter, get your team.
Yeah, because Chicago leads the series 2-0, and Patrick Kane he scored 2 goals twice during
One was
Sunday's
an empty
game.
net, so like okay.
But okay, 1.5. How's that?
No, it still counts.
And they won 4-1, and it's just Patrick Kane. Wow, he just comes off an injury and he's just back to normal. I don't know how that happened. He's really Superman. Patrick Kane is Superman.
Unbelievable. I couldn't go today without mentioning it because it
was an amazing performance.
Someone had put up an infograph on Twitter and my jaw was on the floor because I was like, how old is he? He has to be.
He's 24.
He's young, exactly.
He's young.
And oh God.
I know.
I saw
jealous.
a lot of Patrick Kane jerseys this weekend at Citi Field, which I thought was weird, but since we weren't playing a Chicago team.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of little kids, so.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I would wear a Patrick Kane jersey if I had one. I'm a big fan too. I'm a big fan of Chicago Blackhawks too. That's my other team. But yeah, in other playoff news, Anaheim Ducks lead the series 2-0 against Calgary Flames, and the Tampa Bay Lightning lead the series 2-0 against the Canadiens.
Which their first game they should not have won. That offside call was unbelievably overlooked. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see.
Brian Boyle was about a good 3 feet above the blue line.
Yeah.
I forget who was carrying the puck over. They didn't call offsides. That's how they scored. That's a brutal way to lose.
Oh, that's frustrating if I was a Canadian fan.
I don't even know.
God.
That was such a blown call. It was unbelievable. Like 3 feet is being
No, it's
minimalist.
not like it was legitimately on the blue line.
No, Brian Boyle was well over the blue line.
Oh God,
yeah,
that stinks. But how about those Rangers?
Kara,
I know.
Honestly, though, last night's game was not as bad. They played great. They did play great. Washington just played a lot better. Not a lot better. Holtby played great. They won the game on a lucky bounce.
That
goal was a lucky bounce.
Keith Yandel needs to wake up in the playoffs.
Why does
what is going
keep playing
on
that
with
fourth line so much? That fourth line gets a lot of ice time for our main guys to not be producing. Like, I get, you want to get fresh legs out, but I feel like the fourth line was on there all the time last night. Tanner Glass is useless as usual.
No, Tanner Glass is always he's been useless since the regular season. I don't know. Nothing's going to change in the playoffs with him.
They need to win on Wednesday.
No, Wednesday legitimately is do or die.
Holtby's playing great, though.
No, Hope. You know what? Holtby, it's all lucky stuff. I think that 1-0 goal, that one goal scored by Jay Beagle, which really wasn't scored by him, was scored by Keith Yandel and Henrik Lundqvist, which it was such a fluky goal, you know?
And that's a hard way to lose, but
it is a hard way.
I don't think Rangers fans should be upset about last night. You can be frustrated at the result, but the effort was there.
Yeah, the effort was there. It's just the defense was good. The defense was good, but you still gave Ovechkin too much ice, though. The chances he had on those power plays.
Okay, but their power play is very simple. It's not complicated
at all. It's just pass it to Ovechkin.
What happened? They get everyone to swarm the right side of the ice, and they leave Ovechkin over on the left, and then
with the circle right by that circle,
exactly.
the face-off circle.
It's not a complicated approach. There's not like there's a lot of passing. It's just get everyone to one side of the ice and get it out to Ovechkin. That's how it works.
No, yeah, it is. That's how it works.
But they have the best power play in the league, and we can't score in a power play, which is going to be our demise for the 5th time.
Yep, it always was.
I can't. They have to do something with this. What the hell is Keith Yandel supposed to be doing if he's not working on the power play.
Well, he's apparently not doing anything else. He's not producing
And
like
that
he's
breakaway
supposed to.
by
Marty San Louis.
Ryan Callahan would have buried that.
Brooks Orpik. That speed of Brooks Orpik.
Callahan would have buried
pressure
that.
on him. Honestly, Brooks Orpik put a lot of pressure on MSL. And MSL is short too, so the struggle of being short in the NHL apparently. it was just, and also there was non-penalties called too. Jason Chimera was holding Jesper Foss's stick in the second period, and it was obviously there was a hold. Where is the power play in that? Even though there's probably nothing was going to happen anyway with the Rangers, but at least give us the benefit of the doubt and call the penalty. And Lundqvist was on point yesterday.
Yeah.
Those saves, he kept us in that game throughout that whole 60 minutes.
Holtby played great. I can't say enough about the kid. He's a young, talented goalie. And
He's just so
beard
cocky.
Is coming in
Oh
great.
my God. He's
you
just
see
so
his beard? It's like very impressive for the second round.
It's all right, you know. I like my boy's beards better, but whatever. But it's just, Holtby. I just don't like Holtby's very cocky. That's just frustrating, and I'm getting nervous as a Rangers fan. I was not nervous before, and people are freaking me out.
You should be freaked out.
I don't know why. Right now, like yesterday, I was going nuts. I'm really worried now.
I was debating whether or not I wanted to see the Islanders in this now.
I know, me too.
Only because Halak's not as good as Holtby.
I know, but we've always been dominating against Holtby, even in the playoffs. But even though we would go to 7 games, the Rangers would still come out of this winner.
I don't think I can take it 7 games. I think the first round usually prepares me.
Yeah.
And we weren't prepared this time, so I don't know.
And it's crazy because when I was watching the game, a stat came up saying 14 of the last 16 Rangers playoff games have been decided by 1 goal. So now it's probably 15 out of the last 17 games have been decided by 1 goal, which we can't score. We score during the season. The playoffs, we just get into this drought. It's been always tight games with the Rangers. We can't just steamroll through the teams like we have done through the regular season. I don't know, maybe playoffs give a different energy to the other team, the opposing side, but I don't know what's going on.
That's what it is. It's a whole different mental game. It's a lot more rigorous and not a lot more tiring. So I don't know. And everyone's like, Rick Nash is playing great, like on every other aspect except for offensive production.
Scoring.
But you know what? Ovechkin plays the same exact way and still produces offense. So don't tell me.
Yeah,
Ovechkin
Ovechkin produces during the regular season and during the playoffs. It's amazing.
Like everyone's like, oh, just give him a pass. He's doing great. Like
no, you don't give anyone a pass. Are you serious?
He does play. He's been playing a lot of really great defense and has been really physical.
No,
but like
he
I
has.
said,
But
Ovechkin
defense
does
doesn't
the
win
same
games.
exact thing and has a killer slap shot.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
No,
to me.
you're
Like,
right.
you can obviously do the same thing.
No, defense does not win games. What matters is that score. I don't care. Shots on goal.
You can't win a game without scoring a goal. So
and people keep mentioning shots on goal and things like that. I'm like, who cares about shots on goal? If you have 1 shot on goal and you score a goal and the game ends 1-0, that's gonna do it for you. Not shots on goal.
I
Nothing
just think it shows
else.
how great Holtby's playing.
It is. He does step it up during the playoffs. It's just, and also I read a statistic that Henrik Lundqvist played his 100th career playoff game yesterday, and he's one of 9 goalies to do so.
Yeah, that's cool. That's exciting.
Yeah,
to be
that's
a part of.
Congratulations, Lundqvist. Now you just need to put Stanley Cup underneath your belt, and you're Hall of Fame. Here you go. Here you come. You know.
Exactly. All right. Well, switching gears over to the other end of playoffs, the NBA.
Yes, the NBA.
Was it yesterday or 2 days ago where Steph Curry was named MVP?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. I watched his speech last night.
Me too.
Oh my God, he's just a precious individual.
I know.
Isn't he?
I cried.
Like, such a nice guy.
Yeah. He's so humble. What do you think?
I
see the look, Sam. What's going on? What are you really thinking?
He's like one of those guys. Like even if I disagree with who should have won that MVP,
James Harden.
Yes. That's my pick. But Steph Curry is like such a hard player. Even if you wanted to dislike him, you can't. And then if you follow him on Instagram and you see him, his wife and his daughter, they're just like the cutest couple ever.
They are cute. I saw him. He gave her a long shout out. And then he was like crying, talking about his dad.
Yeah.
Why are the NBA MVP speeches always so like intense?
I know.
Yeah, it is.
It's always like a big thing. Like everyone always cries.
Yeah. It's like an hour. What was it? Like an hour and something? That's how long it was? Like a little over an hour he was talking? I don't know how he prepares all of that in such a short period of time. It was very emotional. And I liked how it was a player who kind of like struggled to get to where he was. Like it was a good Cinderella story in a way.
How does it work for the NBA? Is it players choose who wins the MVP or a committee or?
Well, the fans vote, but I don't.
Oh, that doesn't count.
I don't think the fans votes
Or the only thing that's considered?
I want to say it's the league because everyone was like,
are they the writers?
There were some people complaining that, like, let's say if the MVP did go to Harden, that it would look really bad on the league because Draymond Green, who plays with the Warriors, didn't get Defensive Player of the Year, and Steve Kerr didn't get Coach of the Year. Right. So they were saying that it would have looked really, really bad if they would have given the MVP to James Harden. So, I mean.
Yeah. I saw the votes, though. Like, Steph Curry really.
Yeah, he
it was
killed
like kind of a landslide in a way. So it wasn't like a close voting thing at all.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
He got, over, I think, 1,100 votes?
But I think that says a lot about the fans because I think that people tend to confuse most valuable with the best player.
Yeah.
The MVP usually goes to the best player on the best team, and I don't necessarily think that dictates the most valuable player. Hence why I think James Harden should have gotten MVP. But I mean, that's not knocking Steph's talent because he's had like a phenomenal season, and he's just fun to watch. That's like he's phenomenal, really.
Yeah, and I know he had ankle problems during the 2011-2012 season, and you wouldn't think that he would be an MVP in 2015.
Right.
What happened, like, what was the ankle injury?
Like, they said that the doctors were saying that they had to, like, reconstruct his ankle, and it was something that has never been done before. But after getting, like, a couple of looks, they didn't have to do that. They just had to fix the type of shoe he was wearing, so he got, like, custom-made shoes by, I think, Nike or Adidas or whatever sponsor they have. Yeah, and it was a miracle in a way. And now look at him now.
You were right. I'm sorry. The prior to 1980, it was the players who voted the MVP, and then after the 1980-81 season, it's decided by a panel of sports writers and broadcasters.
Yeah,
that's interesting because, like you were saying, how not most valuable player is not necessarily the best player on the best team. He was also, I think, he has the least amount of average minutes per game ever for an MVP of the league, which is. Does that speak to how good the Warriors are? Just like, they have so many facets of their game.
Well, I think that's part of the problem for me, where I think Harden kind of got robbed, is because Steph has a lot of cushion in comparison to James Harden. I mean, he's got Draymond Green, he's got Klay Thompson, whereas James Harden, he basically led a depleted team because his second best player, Dwight Howard, was out for 2 months with an injury. Pat Beverly was out with a season-ending injury. So for you to be able to take a depleted team and play more than one position, essentially, to the 2 seed, as opposed to the Warriors, who have a stacked team and a great coach, for that matter, to the 1st seed, I personally think you can kind of see that Harden is the more valuable player to his team. If the Warriors don't have Steph, the Warriors still make it to the playoffs. They may not have been the 1st seed, but they still would have been in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Without Harden, there's no chance in hell that the Rockets make the playoffs. So that's just my opinion.
All right, it sounds like a valid opinion. I like that.
Who do you have for the final? Like,
who's on your bracket? Who's going?
Who's your pick?
All right, the East, I'm gonna go with the Bulls.
What? No, I'm kidding.
No.
I read a stat yesterday that every time LeBron has played the Bulls, they've lost game 1 and they've won the next 4. So he's got the Bulls right where he wants.
That's a nice stat. I didn't read that. No, I would prefer to see the Bulls.
I think everybody would prefer.
Yeah,
that.
I think that
see D-Rose in a final.
Exactly. And I also like Jimmy Butler a lot. I think he stepped up a lot for his team. But no, I have the Bulls in the East, and I have...
Who do you have for the West?
I want to say the Warriors, but I'm
not... Be so cool.
That would be such a good story.
I would watch that final.
No, me too. I would. That would be a good story,
yeah,
too.
I'm really not sure, because I really did not have the Clippers beating the Spurs in any scenario. Okay. I really thought the Spurs were just going to, like, dismantle that team, but I guess not. And I don't know, something about Chris Paul lately is just like out of control, but then again, he's out with that injury.
Yeah, I know. I heard he got hurt. I don't know when he's coming
back.
Yeah
So I'm gonna go Bulls Warriors.
All right, we'll see if that happens. We'll see if Sam is right. everyone. And we have our last segment of the week. It's Women of the Week. And our Woman of the Week is Laura Gentile. She's the vice president of ESPNW, which is a women's magazine that is dedicated to women athletes and women's sports. She is the founder of it too. ESPN first dedicated business built for women who love sports. Launched in December 2010 as a blog, then grew to a website. Now it's the premier website for women's sports. So before Laura Gentile was the VP and the founder of ESPNW, she was also chief of staff at ESPNW. She was a graduate of Duke University in 1994 with a double major in English and poli-sci, and she earned her master's in marketing and organizational behavior from Boston College. While in undergrad, Gentile garnered All-American and All-ACC honors in field hockey and was a two-time team captain. She led Duke to their first ever appearance in the NCAA tournament and was named to the ACC's 50th anniversary field hockey team. Her mission is to empower women in sports, and so far she's doing a really good job doing that.
There's this one quote that everyone always says, that quotes her on. It says, "If women's sports were everything we believe it can be, what would it look like?" And that's what she's trying to accomplish with ESPNW. Yep. ESPN.com reached over 5 million women a month, and ESPN the magazine reached over 3 million female readers that year. In 2010, and women make over 40% of the viewing audience, and only 23% of the viewing hours are contributed to women to female sports. I think that's a little high because I don't think 23% of a year of broadcast on ESPN. I don't even think 23% of hockey is covered on ESPN.
Yes.
But basically just like a place for women who play sports, love sports, are fans of sports can go. And I think that they have a lot of these forums that I always watch.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're just really helpful for people who, want to break into the industry or just interested in like learning about female athletes. Like, like LeBron James, like, Henrik Lundqvist. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It just gives a good platform for that.
Yeah, and I think that's great. So great job, Lauren Gentile, and keep doing what you're doing because apparently it's working. And everybody, thank you so much for listening to Throw Like a Girl Radio, WBCR's first all-female. We're all girls here. All-female sports talk show. I'm KaraAnne Galante.
And I'm Alyssa Paolicelli.
And we'll be back same time, same place next.
One last time.
Yes, no. From next Tuesday from 4 to 5 p.m. Let us know what you thought about our show on our social media outlets. Facebook.com/ThrowLikeAGirlRadio, Twitter @ThrowLikeA_girl, and Instagram ThrowLikeAGirlRadio. We'll be posting this episode on our new YouTube channel. Just search Throw Like a Girl Radio and subscribe, please. Check our social pages for updates. Tune in tomorrow at 7 for The Good Five with Brian McGee, and Thursday at 5 for Heat and Ace Radio with Faraj Tor,
yep.
Tor, yeah. Come back Tuesday at 4. It's our last episode, so please, guys, listen in. And by listening to mywbcr.com or downloading the TuneIn Radio app and searching Brooklyn College Radio. Have a great week, everybody, and good luck on finals.